What's good, guys? We are back, and today is going to be an absolute saucy video. We're going over the R8 model, my continuation model. I'm going to be breaking this down from the very beginning to the very end. I'm going to be going over how I look at the markets, how I start looking at the markets, and just how I trade in general. Okay, so I've got a screenshot of basically how my strategy works. This is from my Notion journal. I will make me a little bit smaller and let's go over it. So basically the first part of this framework is draw on liquidity. Where is the price moving towards, right? So basically how I look at the market is, are we displacing towards an hourly high, or are we displacing towards a 4-hour gap that has been untapped? Are we drawing towards, let's say, a session high, session low? It all depends on where the market's at, but you have to find your draw on liquidity. So I'm going to be using Friday's trade as my example for this trade setup. So draw on liquidity. Let's use ICT kill zones for reference. This is the indicator I use to see the session highs and lows. So key levels for draw on liquidity. So session highs and lows. We have 1 hour highs and lows, 1 hour gaps, and then we have 4 hour highs and lows, 4 hour gaps. I'm also going to put in here data highs and lows. Cool. So that is our key levels that I watch out for. I don't look for anything else. It is as simple as this, right? So what do we have here? This is going to be an hourly high and low, probably a 4-hour high and low as well. But this is mainly, London highs and Asia high, right? So that's our draw on liquidity for this trade. Now the overall draw on liquidity for this whole entire setup, right? So the bias of the trade is all-time highs. All-time highs. So we have our a smaller draw on liquidity, which is here, but then we also have London high, Asia high, and all-time highs right here. So we have a lot of draws that we can be, trading towards. We're not trading towards nothing. We've got our overall bias is bullish, but then we've got, Asia and London highs here as well. So they're the key levels. We don't use anything else. That's all I use. So let's go over this strategy brief overview that I have inside my Notion template. In this clear example, we have a draw on liquidity, which is this hourly low. So this is our DOL, draw on liquidity. Cool, now we know price, that's where we want price to head towards. Now we don't just enter randomly. We don't just, okay, it's a bearish candle, we enter. We set a condition. I set conditions from 5 minute, 15, 1 minute. It's just something for the price to retrace into before displacing or inversing towards my draw on liquidity. So if we come down onto a lower time frame here, we see we have this bearish fair value gap. This is my condition. I wait for price to retrace into this gap before we displace out of the gap and we short to that low. Now, question, what if price inverses this gap to the upside? My trade idea is invalid and I do not take the trade. Very, very simple. That's it. You find a DOL, draw on liquidity, you set a condition, and you enter from displacement or an IFEG. So in this trade setup, we had really good displacement with these two large bearish candles. We enter short towards our DOL. We also, inside this, had a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. Perfect trade setup. Now I'm going to go over Friday's trade that I already had a trade recap on, but we're going to go back and have a look now. So setting up our charts. This is coming into Friday's AM session. So basically I come in and I mark out my highs and lows. So now we've got our initial targets, which is Asia high and low, which is here. And now we've got our overall targets up here, right? So this can be positions where we want to take partials. This can be basically if you want to hold your trade to that position. So let's go. Market opens at 9:30 a.m. let's print one candle. And off open, we basically just sweep the lows and we rip to the upside in this candle. Now, I'm gonna go back to replay on this candle right here. And this is the exact model that I teach and show. It is this simple. There's nothing else to it. So what do we leave behind? In this candle right here, we leave a 1 minute bullish fair value gap. So we've got our drawn liquidity and now we've got our condition. All we need to wait for is our condition to be met and enter off displacement or an IFVG. So now we've entered inside the 1 minute bullish gap. All I'm waiting for is displacement outside this gap. We don't get a good displacement. This is not a good displacement candle. And this is why, right? The price opens up here, moves up and closes like halfway down. So it's still showing that bears have a little bit control in the price. We want to wait for a good displacement out of the gap. And this here was enough for me to enter the trade. Now there's no, fair value gap here to inverse. All we're entering off is displacement. So we enter longs with the stops below that candle's low and we target the highs. So I was targeting, I held all the way to this high here. So I was initially holding to ATH, but I took partials off at one of these highs here. So let's skip a couple candles here, right here. So off this candle just here, I took partials at a 2 to 3. So 2-3 trade, bang. Simple continuation, that's it. It is this simple. You find your draw, condition, wait for your condition to be met, which we did, wait for a displacement or an IFVG and enter the market. That is it. That is all that you need with this model. Go back and screenshot that, strategy brief overview. That's going to show the steps in your trading and how to take this, continuation trading in your own trading. Everyone gets so caught up in, oh my God, like there's this, that, this. It's so simple. I don't need to say it again. Go with the trend because the trend is your friend, right? The trend is your friend. If you're always trying to catch reversals, there's a reason why it's a lower win rate, right? This win rate here is anywhere from 80 to 90% for me. It's that simple. You guys overcomplicate everything inside your trading. And this is why you're not profitable. I do want to say I do have if you guys are interested in learning from me, I do have a one-on-one mentorship that I go, into deeper levels. So different trade setups. I teach exactly this model here. Answer your guys' questions. We have a premium Discord as well, where I put basically my overview for the day, what I'm looking for, my draws, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, I do have a mentorship. The link is in the bio. You can apply to work with me one-on-one. But other than that, join the free Discord. And I just gave you a model that can make you $500,000 a year. It is up to you. I can lead you to water, but I cannot make you drink.